Hey, everybody. This is Miss G, 50 Shades of Glow. Welcome to day 19 of Let's Talk About Africa. I'm excited. We have really gone through a lot of countries, learned a lot. My name is Gloria, Miss G. People call me Miss G. People call me Glow. Depending on how long you've known me, I am a travel consultant here, learning just like you, exploring the continent of Africa. A little bit of my story is that I work for a big company that did travel, and they asked about feedback in travel. I want to be a destination consultant for the company for the continent of Africa. And they told me, oh, that's nice, but no one travels to Africa. So I was like, okay, that's what we doing. All right. Again, diminishing the beauty of Africa. I'm an avid traveler. I do a lot of I am a solo traveler by choice. Hey, Kaden, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you. I am a solo traveler by choice and love solo traveling. You meet so many people. You are on your own schedule. I really love it. A lot of people feel intimidated um, by solo travel, but I love it. And I got into solo travel like everyone else, really by default. Someone was supposed to go, they couldn't go. I went ahead and went and enjoyed myself, and that is my preference. I have no problems going with someone else, but I'm not going to beg anyone to go with me because you spin your wheels begging. Everyone has an excuse. It's usually a legitimate excuse, kind of, sort of, not really. But I have learned in my years of event planning and planning trips that people that want to go somewhere, they will go. People that want to do something, they will do. So, anyway, so that's a little bit on me. And tonight we are doing the Gambia. The Gambia is going to be very interesting, and it's going to be some tea. It's going to be some ground tea. It's going to be some grown tea that, well, let me start off on the positive, always on the positive. Gambia definitely is a beautiful country on the west coast of Africa, sitting right next to Senegal. Very, very small country, very, very small country. But it has like everything there. It has beautiful landscape. It has beautiful beaches. It has beautiful agriculture. And that's one of their, money makers is agriculture, specializing in like peanuts. Fun fact for you, specializing in peanuts. And they have beautiful, like, just ridiculous wildlife. They have crocodiles. Um, they have crocodiles. They have monkeys. They have birds. So, like, any and everything that you like. Hey, Q, welcome. Everything that you can imagine, the Gambia has. The Gambia is a great place to visit, but to be candid, because of course I want to glorify the continent, but I am going to be straight shooter. It's not that it's dangerous, okay? Because really and truly, I could say the same thing for Kenya. Um, you just have to be cautious. Like when you're in, what I noticed when I was in Kenya and I was in more of a, not a rural area, but just more of a village. You don't have to watch yourself so much. Nazinga, welcome. You didn't have to watch yourself as much. I walked around by myself, as I think I shared with y'all in one of the lives that I dropped. With my niece and I were on an ATV, and my wallet with everything in it dropped, popped off the ATV, and it was two guys that chased us down for a mile to give me back um, my wallet. Now that was in Watamu, and Watamu is a very um, local, villagey beach place. It's beautiful. I go partying. We would hit the clubs. I would walk to the beach. All in the back roads, never a problem. But then when you go to places that's more populated and I guess more exposed, that's when you get more shysters. So when I got my place in Malindi, I saw a difference between Watamu and Malindi. But what Malindi is nothing compared to, how you got to watch your back in Nairobi. But Nairobi's a city with a lot of people. So that's just like anywhere. But still, compared to the United States, like that's total light. But a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to Africa. I'm going to this, you know, away, and it's not America. I don't have to watch myself. No, people want your money. They see that you are a tourist. They think that they're never going to see you again. This is just some travel tips. They think they're never going to see you again. So they're going to seize the opportunity. Just remember that. Just let that sit for a moment. When you travel, I don't care where it is. I don't care if it's in Africa. I don't care if it's in the Caribbean. I don't care if it's in Europe. When you're a tourist, people look at you as a tourist. They know you got money because you're on vacation, and they're going to seize the opportunity because they know that they're never going to see you again. That was some good piece of advice. That was some good shit I just gave. That was some good shit I just told y'all. Seriously. So, and people will be so nice, but they're not going to be mean and take your money. They're going to be nice and, have your guard down. So when you travel, always make sure, not that you have to have your guard up, like how you have your guard up if you like go to Brooklyn or to New York City or wherever, Chicago, here, but you still have to be cautious and mindful. So just remember, that was one great tip that I gave y'all tonight. Okay. I didn't even like plan to say that. God must have told me to tell y'all that. Okay. So Gambia is a small country, West Africa, and right next to Senegal, 2.3 million people. Is sitting on the Atlantic. Okay. And is known for its beautiful beaches, beautiful coastline. Um, the dark side, not the dark side of it, but the history of it. It was a major part of slave trade because it was on the coast. Okay. And it's the weekend. I'm going to have my wine. Welcome, Courtney. I'm going to have my wine. It's the weekend. Okay. Don't judge me. But guess what? If you know me, you know I don't care. But I'm going to have my wine. So y'all can join me. Yeah. So it was known for slave trade, and one of the stops before they went to America. So that's kind of deed and kind of connects also. um what else? Yeah, the nature is like mind blowing. The beaches, the wildlife is mind blowing. The people are extremely welcoming, are extremely nice. But when you get in populated areas, like if you go to the markets in Gambia, if you go to the markets in Gambia, or I see you over here too, Miss Nazinga. Thank you. Um, and please, everyone, before I forget, please share, like, share, and subscribe, because I have been playing around at the 50 mark, at the 100 mark. You don't even know how long I have been on YouTube. And if you look at my subscribers, I should be ashamed of myself. There are people that I told to get on YouTube and they have like 10,000 subscribers. Okay. I have really been messing around, but I work like a dog. So I, I, I wish I was 40 years young. I would have the uh, wherewithal to get things done. But anyway, please share, tell your friends to come on, listen. We will be on. This is the 19th, so 19 minus 54. We have about 35 more days, something like that. I can't count. 35? No, a little bit more than that. Um, to be on every night. I have made that commitment to be on every single night. Um, until we complete the 54 countries. So tonight is the Gambia. And as I said, the people are very welcoming, very nice. It's a great place. I will give this place about 3 handbags, because although they're very nice, very welcoming, there's a couple of things that, and the accommodations are just drop dead. Like, it's beautiful, but it's just some things that you just need to be aware of. So one is, as I said, they're trying to get your money, and if you're American, I don't know what the American media. I would love to see the messaging. I would love to see the messaging that the Western media gives to the rest of the world, because it is so amazing to me that the euro is worth more than the American dollar. But if you say you're from America, they worship the American dollar. The USD, that is the currency. It's like the local currency, or the USD. It blows my mind. And if they find out that you are from the United States, like, you short of God. It's amazing to me. So I would love to see the messaging or the commercials or whatsoever they do to put seeds in people's heads that, like, we're rich and we're not. We work like dogs. And then, like, before we even get it, I love the memes that it says, okay, on Friday, on payday, our bank account is at 1,300 whatever, at 9:02. Then at 9:22, after we pay all our bills, is at like $32 for the next 2 weeks. Like, people in other countries, they don't see that. Like, they only see the money that we bring in, what they see we bring in. As I had talked about last night, and people couldn't believe that, um, that in Gabon, their minimum wage was one of the highest in Africa, and it was $260 for the month. So when they hear that people in the US make a minimum of $15 an hour, we make that in a day, $260 a day. That's like average pay, for most folks. And so they just think that we're rich, but they don't see the other part of the cost of living it takes to live in the United States. And, in Africa, a lot of their necessities that we have to really go and buy, like eggs, are farm pastured eggs are $8. I said, okay, I'm not going to do the brown eggs. Okay. They said, whatever. Like, I saw like a diagram where it said, oh, well, this is what cage free chickens are they process, and this is organic, or what they process. It's not what we think. So the pasteurized is probably the best, but pasteurized eggs are $8. $8 for 12 eggs. When in Africa, an egg from a regular egg is 10 cents. It's not even 10 cents. It's 10 bomb. That's in Kenyan money. 10 bomb. So 10 bomb is about 5 cents. So you can get a dozen eggs for about $1. A dozen pasteurized, no, even less than that, 5 cents. No, like 75 cents. 75 US for a dozen eggs that are our equivalent of pasteurized, because nothing there is marked organic or sprayed or whatever. So everything is organic, to where we pay all of these premiums for. In their country, it's just natural. They don't have to label it, because it is. So it's about 75 cents for a dozen eggs. It's 10 bom per egg, for the same amount that it costs us $8 for the same quality. Yeah. So anyway, all right. So yeah, since Gambia does, there's a lot of beggars, and they start at the airport, and they're very friendly. So that's what I think trips you up. Um, yeah, they're very friendly, and they're, oh, let me help you with your bag. But that's a lot of, I run into that, and y'all put it in the chat if y'all have traveled, and when y'all get to the airport, people are trying to rush you to help you. Some airports ban people that are not supposed to be there, but a lot of airports, they really can't control that. But all you say is just no. As soon as you get on, when you come out, you say no. You already have your Uber ordered, and you don't need anything from anybody. And if it's not someone with like a lanyard, and this is a person that works at the airport, this is another tip. Please refuse. They don't need to help you. Don't do that. I don't care if you're in a group. Definitely if you're by yourself, do not. I don't care what country you are traveling. Do not accept any help from anyone that comes up to you and offers to help you with your bags. Don't do it. Don't do it at all. No. All right. They're there again. It's a opportunity. Okay. So what else? I'm going to get in some I'm going to save the deep tea in the next couple minutes. That's going to blow. It's going to blow your mind, but not really. Anyway, so um there are no just things to prepare for when you do go to Gambia and other places, since it's hot there. Make sure you pack light. You don't have to pack a lot of clothes, and make sure the clothes are breathable, because Gambia is extremely hot. And if you want to bring like a water bottle, like a refillable water bottle. But if you have a refillable water bottle, since you don't really use the tap, the big bottles, they have like the big liters, they're only 50 cents. And it's really 50, yeah, 50, 40 cents of our money. So just go and buy the big water bottles, and but because you're going to keep yourself hydrated, make sure you bring some comfortable shoes to walk, because Gambia is a very walkable place, and you're going to do a lot of walking, and it's going to be a lot, and it's going to be very hot, and you're going to lose weight. Okay, because you're eating natural food, no processed nonsense. You're going to be walking everywhere, or jumping on a bike, but mostly walking. And, it's hot, so you're going to be drinking a lot of water. Stay hydrated. Drink the water. You should go through a minimum without even thinking about it. 4 liters of water a day. Even when you're in the bed, you need to be drinking because it's so freaking hot. If you don't drink water, you're going to pass out. Like, you're going to mess with your life. Make sure you drink minimum 4, but it's going to be almost natural. Like, you're going to be like, so, and the water's cheap. The water's cheap. So what else? Bring some bug spray. And I forgot to include that with the other trips. I usually don't bring it. It's usually at like the Airbnb or whatsoever. I really haven't run into too many issues with mosquitoes, but in my research, they did bring up, that it's a lot of kind of pesky mosquitoes. And with the pesky mosquitoes, and if you're exposed to it too much, that's when you run into the malaria thing. You know what I'm saying? So, um, just bring some whatever is good for you, the off, and get the lemon, because they have some, and of course you probably, and I'm not endorsing Amazon until they make me an affiliate, but I know that there's places that the bottled water is only like 50 cents, and it's like the big, it's the big like liter that we get at Dollar Tree for $1.25. It's only like 40, 50 cents, so it's very, very cheap. Is very, very cheap. And there's only a handful of people that make the water. So you're going to see the same type of water, the same company. Like, it's 2 companies that make the water. They're making, I, if I was younger, I would get into the water business there, because it's only 2 companies, big companies, that do water in Africa. You will see the 2 blue bottles. That's it. Yeah. But it's about 40, 50 cents there. Um, yeah, so other things to, prepare for, make sure you always have your passport. Make sure your passport, I can't say this enough, is valid before you go, but valid 6 months after you come back. So if you're traveling, say January, your passport needs to be valid um, up to June of that year, not like January, June. It's something, but when I worked for Amex, they were very strict on that. That anyone traveling their passport had to be valid 6 months after they come back. Not that they go, but they come back from the time you get back. So make sure your passport is all together. I tell uh, everyone all the time that global entry is the best $125 ever spent, because after doing all that travel, you've had a great trip and everything. Okay, you're on your way back to reality. The last thing you want to do when you get back to the States is stand in a customs line for 45 minutes. And then when you get to the customs agent, they want to harass you and go through all your stuff and open your bag. You just want to get home. You just want to get home. And I'm telling you, that is the best $125 ever spent, because you go and you're in and out in 45 seconds. No one is on that global entry line. That's the best thing. And then on your way out, the global entry gives you the same perks as as uh, TSA pre-check. Yes. All right. What else? What else? What else? What else? Um, Tons of walking. Um, oh, another great thing is when you are in Africa, if you're visiting or if you're living there, because Gambia, in my research, is a place that you can also live because the cost of living is low. And then you have all of the resources. You have the beach that you can go to, all the food, all the resources, all of that good stuff. Um, Carry a backpack. And I didn't realize that. And I had bought a backpack a few years ago, when I was in Kenya. And I mean, that really comes in handy. And you have your backpack, you throw your stuff in the back instead of like, carrying bags and everything like that. Because since you're walking, one, you're going to do a lot of walking. You're not going to be in a car, or you're going to jump on the back of a motorbike. So if you just have everything, like even if you go grocery shopping, you throw all your stuff in your backpack. If you go to the market, if you go anywhere, if you have like, clothes or bathing suit, you just throw everything um in your backpack, and it's light and it's not a whole bunch of stuff, and it's easy to move around. That's another great tip I want to give y'all. Instead of having bags, don't take bags when you're going on vacation. When you're going traveling there, I ended up taking one purse that I didn't use. I didn't use at all. And even when I lived there for the 3 months, I didn't use that bag. I had it just to say, okay, if I go somewhere and I need a handbag, but I really didn't. You have your wallet, with all your stuff in there. Make sure you have a section where you keep all your documents or whatsoever. But in the backpack, you have a compartment inside, or the part outside where you can go and get your stuff, and you don't have a whole ton of things. So that is just included in carrying in traveling light, your backpack. And then your backpack can be another travel tip, can be your personal item when you get on a plane. And if you need to take your bag, that you really don't have to, because at the end of the day, nobody care about a Louis Vuitton, nobody care about your Chanel, nobody care about your Michael Kors, nobody care about your Coach bag. You can leave that right here in the States. Trust. Nobody care about it. Nobody looking at it. Nobody walking around with one. Nobody care. So, but if you need to put a bag, if you need to have your bag, just put it in your backpack, and stuff everything in your backpack. But you're never going to use that bag. As long as you have a good wallet, you're not going to, because everything's digital. If you're not using, if you're not using, um, you know, your card, or going to the ATM, there's no reason to have a purse at all. You don't want to get it taken, because you can be walking down the street, and if you're not holding your bag right, they're gonna be on a motorbike. And I seen it happen on a live to an African. Him and his girlfriend. His girlfriend was European or something like that, and they were walking through Nairobi, and it just seemed, and she just had a bag on the side, not even thinking. It wasn't even a crowded place, and it was these guys on a motorbike, and and sped right through. Thank you, Adrian, for dropping in. Welcome to the tribe. Uh, we are talking about Gambia, and let's talk about Africa. The series we're visiting the 54 countries of Africa to dispel the myths and discover the beauties. Okay, so thank you so much for dropping in. Thank you so much. So, as I was saying, that yeah, she was just walking down the street. He was right behind her, and it was a motorbike came by and whew, snatched her bag and drove and sped off. Just it happened so quick. And they were like, oh my God. But so make sure you keep, if you have a backpack, they can't do that. So if you have a bag on, in addition to that, it's just something kind of, fling it in the wind, and you're gonna get set up. Okay, you're gonna get, and that's any place, but just giving you, because I don't want this, especially since I'm talking about on YouTube. I don't want it or someone drop in and says, "Oh yes, I told you Africa was dating." It's not. It's not. But don't be naive, because people are people. People now, even in Africa, they have a cell phone. They see stuff that go on all over the world now. They see YouTube. They see TikTok. They know all the stuff. They see all the bad, good, and ugly. They know all the scams. That it doesn't matter. So anyway, so hold on one second. I have a question. So when traveling, you should only carry a backpack. I know for at least 2 weeks trip, people wanted to. No, no, no. Absolutely. I'm talking about, instead of carrying getting your bag or your purse, just get a backpack to use as your personal item when you get on the plane. In addition to, instead of having your bag that has limited space, you just have a backpack. And if you want to have your bag to take, you put your handbag in your backpack with everything else. Like when you're on the plane, what is good, what I ran into, like maybe I had to change of clothes because you're on the plane so long, you may get, all musty and pussy and all of that. So you may want a change of clothes. You may have put your flip flops in, or whatever. So you have much more room in a backpack to put tons of stuff, including your handbag, in addition to your carry-on. Okay, your carry-on, and then also your check bags that you're going to, have checked. So you just don't bring a backpack. No, but when you are, going out for the day or whatsoever, and going to the market or whatever, instead of having a purse or a bag, or if you went to the market and you got, groceries or this or that, and you have these bags and you're holding it, throw all that stuff in a backpack. And I'm telling you, I've done it, and you're just walking, and there's no weight, no anything. So that, is just like a little comforting travel hat, that you're not carrying all these bags in your hand. You just throw it all in a big backpack, and you can jump on the back of a motorbike. You could walk, and it's not weighing you down. So no, that's not the only thing that you carry. No, you have, when you are traveling internationally, most carriers, but it looks like I've seen the carriers cut back on the 2 bags for international travel. I'm seeing now one. I'm double checking that but when I was with Amex, it was at that time 2, and when I was traveling, it was 2 check bags if you were going international. Okay, 2 check bags for free, and your carry on that could be no more than 21 inches high and whatsoever, to carry on, and then a personal item that you take on the plane with you. So the personal item, instead of it being just your handbag, it could be your backpack. You stick your handbag in it if you need to bring your handbag. Yeah, yep, yep. So what else? What else? What else? What else? All right, because the time be flying. I'm loving this. The time be flying. So as I told you, big their big money makers is agriculture, and they do peanuts. That's their big thing. They also have a big tourism um, industry. Now, this is where the tea come in. It's about to get saucy. Now, we hear tourism, and we hear different tourism. They have a big sex tourism. I said it. They have a big sex tourism in Gambia. We're still being exploited. We're still being exploited. So, and I'm not shocked because I seen it on the coast of Kenya. It's big sex tourism. So the little Euro grannies and the little the Euro grandpas, they go to Africa like they've always been doing, and they get their sex on. And I seen it. I seen it. Not in Gambia, in the West. So obviously it's happening in Gambia, right on the water. I seen it in Kenya. And I remember that, yes, it's deep. And when you see it, now before I went to Kenya, or when I first went to Kenya, my niece was in Kenya. And she told me it was a thing, but not sex tourism. She just said that the swirl was a thing. And I was like, okay, the swirl is a thing. I know that, they be liking the chocolate, the Italian love the chocolate and this is that, blah, blah, blah. But when I actually went and I saw it, and every time I go, my mouth just drops. It is usually older, like 40 and over, like 50 and over, Italian men, European men, and 60 and over European women. And they go and get the local beautiful Lupita, Naomi Campbell looking women, about 30 or under, 35 and under, no kids, drop dead gorgeous. That's who they rocking with. You go to the parties, that's what you see. I see that on the Kenyan coast. So it's also in the Gambian coast too. But in the Gambian coast, obviously it's worse than on the Kenyan coast. Because on the Kenyan coast, Kenya does not have that reputation. But on the Gambian coast, in the Gambia, in my research, I didn't when I first heard it from this white guy that does a lot of tours, I was like, okay, I really step lightly um when I receive uh commentary from someone that is non-black or non-brown. But when I went and researched a couple people that are black woman, she also verified it too. Big, 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 big thing. And I've even seen it with my own eyes. I seen, you know, older white women from Italy, and they got the blackest, most dreadish local guys there, 30 and under, honey, breaking backs, and they pay for it well. They set them up with businesses, they set them up, pay their way, give them uh, big time. So, what maybe in Kenya is more relationships, but Gambia is a tourism thing. That's the tea for the night on that one. Yeah, that's the tea. That's the tea. That's the tea. But so just to, give you a bit of warning on that. Anybody have any questions? Let me see. Do they have drivers and taxis? Yeah, of course. They do. But when you get there, you're going to get charged so much money. And the island is small. So the regular mode of transportation is jumping on the back of a motorbike. I'm 59 and I'll jump on the back of a motorbike in a second because I will rather pay 50 cent, 40 or 50 cent than get a taxi. It's not like being in Africa and the Caribbean is totally different. I just want to tell you that one. Because I've been, to Jamaica and the Caribbean. And you take taxis and Ubers and everything because they're more westernized, but and they're on the western side, But in Africa, it's if you take a car, because the first time I went to Africa, I was like, oh, I was telling my niece, oh, let's take a taxi. And she was like, ugh, because she was used to, and she's 57. She was used to just jumping on the back of a motorbike. And that's what everyone does. Even white people, that's there. Everyone jumps on the back of a motorbike. And the motorbike, oddly enough, is different than a motorcycle here. Like I would never get on the back of a motorcycle that people that drive motorcycles, I would never get on the back of a motorcycle. I would be petrified. For whatever reason, the motorbikes are totally different. You jump on the back, you can hold stuff. Funny story, I had to take a mattress back. I had bought a mattress for the house and it was too small or too big, something like that. So they had free delivery, but for them to pick it up, it would have just been too much. So the grocery store, the place that I got it from, was really less than 5 minutes away. Did I take that mattress like this and walk to the top of the hill to where the main street was and got on the back of a motorbike and held that mattress? What? What? I've seen them with motorbikes transporting literally TVs, like 50-inch TV. Four people on a motorbike holding a TV, holding chairs. Like, it's hilarious. But yeah. So if you want to pay 10 times the price to just have a car riding around, but you don't need that. You don't need it. It's very, when you go, the beauty of being in the motherland, you're just so down to basics, and it's okay, and you fall into that very easily. It's not anything that is like, oh my god, it's this whole big code. It's really not. It may be different the first couple of days, but you're going to be there probably 2 weeks, so you will fall in line very quickly because everyone is doing it. Let me see. The question. I saw a question. Around how much is the fare to Gambia? It's what the trend has been is around 1100, between 800 and $1,100. Travel to Africa is not as expensive as people think it is. Any time of the year is great to go. Um, uh, and it's a beautiful place. So give it like 3.5 handbags only because, not the four, not five, because of, they get slick and try to pickpocket or whatever. But that really is based on you because it could be anywhere if you're not, just cautious, or, anywhere. But the sex tourism is where I kind of notched it back. And really and truly, we're brown people. It's not happening with us. It's the Europeans. They've been doing it from the beginning of time, coming and taking advantage. It is a thing. And it's a thing that, yeah, it's a thing that will blow your mind. It's a thing. It really is a thing. And I've seen it with my own eyes. And every time I go to the coast, I'm like, when we go to the parties, you wouldn't know that European folks had the rhythm in them, but they be at the beach parties, partying it up. And I rarely see them. I rarely see white with white. Mm-mm. I see white with drop dead beautiful African girls, or the women, the European women, they financing, they are financing those African guys to take care of them. And the African guys usually have a family. They usually have a wife and a family, but the wife is okay with it because she like, okay, go on life, because she coming back and forth maybe once or twice a year, but our family is not living off of $20 a week. She's sending us $1,000 a month. So we chilling. So a lot of times the wives don't even, or the girlfriends or whoever, they have a family. Usually the people, the African girls, they got boyfriends, but they just being taken care of, because since the cost of living, the wages are so low, they like, we're gonna see them twice a year, 3 times a year, but they're sending me $500 US every month, or euros every month. That's a big difference. So it is a thing. It is a thing. Before I get off, before I get off, if anyone has any questions, and again, uh, this is what I want to offer to y'all: information. We're going through this together. I'm enjoying the learning experience. I hope y'all are too. And if anyone wants to, you know, take a look at Gambia to travel to, definitely DM me. We can set up a complimentary consultation, because glampluxetravels specializes in travel to the motherland solely. Now, I'll book you anywhere else because I do have over 20 years experience in event planning and travel, and I'm an avid traveler, but I have dedicated myself to the continent of Africa. So definitely uh, reach out. I would love to talk to you about planning your next trip. Anybody else have any questions before we get off? I ran over time. I apologize, but I had to give you all that tea. I had to give you all that tea. So, if no one has any questions, of course, I want to thank y'all again. My name is Gloria, Miss G, 50 Shades of Glow. Uh, we are on talking about Africa. Let's talk about Africa every evening at 9 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube. On YouTube, it's at 50 Shades of Glow. Check in there. Please share, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so we can get this information out and school people on what the real deal of Africa is. We still have over 30, almost really 40 days, almost 40 um, days of checking out the different uh, countries. And I'm going to have people, a lot of people have reached out to me, and then I have a lot of folks that I am connected with in the different countries. So when we hit those countries, we're going to bring people on. I'm still waiting to hear back. I think my signals got crossed with the lady from Ethiopian Airlines. I'm still going to try to get her to come on and talk about Ethiopian Airlines. We're going to I'm going to have several of the tour operators come on. I'm also going to have people that have traveled, that are Americans, that have traveled to the continent in different places, and just given their experience that you can ask, because I've been, but I haven't been there. So I want y'all to have a first-hand account and knowledge of every place and hear it from the horse's mouth. I do the research. I try to do very thorough research, but if I haven't been there, I want you to talk to someone that has. But if you are planning your trip to the motherland, I would definitely love to help you. I customize your itinerary. And yeah, let's talk. Anyway, I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a great Saturday. I thank y'all for sharing your Saturday with me because y'all could be any place. Okay, but y'all here with me. All right, I love it. Thank y'all. And thank you, my tribe. Y'all know who y'all are. And y'all take care. Salud. Okay. All right, get a little cab right there. And y'all take care. All right. Thank y'all so much for dropping in. I'll see you tomorrow at 9 p.m.